Hello, grade sixes. How are you all doing? I am excited to explain to you our final activities that go along with Edward Tulane. This novel study has been exciting for me and has made me very proud as your teacher because you showed such enthusiasm. There were some of you who just couldn't stand to read at the pace I had asked, and you had finished the book early on. That's fine. That shows you love reading. There were some of you that actually had to give your novel to me so that you could resist doing that. And that showed that you were trying to follow the rules. Good for you. And then there was Benson, who on the day after we found out school would be not being held at the school anymore, his mom texted to make sure that that novel would be coming home so he could finish it. That made me very happy as a teacher to know that you each enjoyed the novel in your own way, and that's good. I will definitely hang on to that book and do it again. So our final activity that goes along with this is called tic-tac-toe, and I'm going to use a diagram picture to help me explain this. Alrighty, guys and ladies, so as I said, this is called tic-tac-toe. And just like in the real game of tic-tac-toe, you are going to create a vertical, horizontal, or diagonal line on your tic-tac-toe of whatever three assignments based on our novel you choose to do. Now, there is an attached Google Doc that explains each one, but I will also explain it and show you some pictures right now. So, box number 1, letter to the editor. You will be writing a letter to Kate DiCamillo and addressing some things like favorite character and why, least favorite character and why, favorite part of the book and why, least favorite part of the book and why, and maybe any other questions you might have for Kate. Box number 2, concrete poetry. This is a kind of poetry where the words create the picture. So in this first example I have from a student years ago, and this has nothing to do with Edward Tulane, this student wrote about a murderer, and his words were written in the shape of the body of a murderer. And if you read it out, it actually does create a poem. So that's one way to do concrete poetry. Another example of a concrete poem is this, where a student used the actual words for the different parts of the picture. So here's ceiling, lamp, rope, shirt, pants, leg, stool, and then here's a short poem out to the side. So those are some examples of concrete poetry. Of course, yours will have to do with anything in our novel. Edward Tulane, any of the people he met, the places he went, any of that. Number 3 box is an author biography. Now you would research Kate DiCamillo and give me as much information about Kate as you could possibly find, maybe including some books, other books she has written other than The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. Now this could be like 6 to 10 well-written sentences in a paragraph. The next one, box number 4, is Make Edward. Now this could be a sock puppet, this could be a clay Edward. You could maybe make him out of newspaper, out of any medium you could find to make an Edward. Box number 5, you should have already done. This is like the free one, diorama. Most of you have already done your diorama, so if you choose to do one of the spots that would include that middle box, you're already done one. Box number 6 is a character sketch or descriptive paragraph of Edward. Now this would be you describing Edward in as much detail as possible, that maybe even someone who's blind could clearly picture Edward in their mind because you've described him so well. So again, 6 to 10 well-written sentences in your paragraph. Number 7, rewrite the story ending. This is where you could pick a spot in your book where you would want to change how things go and change the ending. So this would mean your story would end in a different way than the way Kate DiCamillo did. And you can figure that out and be creative, have some fun. Edward's journey map would be you showing where Edward went throughout this novel. So it might be a digital one, might be a hand-drawn map, or it might be you describing it through words. But make sure you include all of the places that Edward went throughout the novel. The last one is a book jacket. And this is exactly as it sounds. This would be a jacket made for our novel. Now, the example I have is not for our novel. This was for a different novel called The K, written by Theodore Taylor. Now, when you do a book jacket, edges would wrap around the cover, and that's why it's called a jacket. Now, this student did an exemplary job of their artwork and their precision with their letters and their tracing over with a fine tip marker. Now, the spine of this book is really well done as well. If you can see it, the student included whether it was fiction or nonfiction, the title, the author, and the price and the price in Canadian and US at the bottom. And on the back, this student chose to do the book summary on the back. And that's awesome. Just make sure you don't give away the ending because you still want your readers to want to read it even if they've read your summary. At the bottom, this student included the barcode and the ISBN number, which is cool because that'd be on the actual book as well. The inside flaps of this student's book jacket included an about the author part and a quote from the New York Times newspaper. On the other flap, the student had other books by the same author, Theodore Taylor, and stating at the bottom that there were many more. So that is what a book jacket looks like, and they're lots of fun, so it includes a little creativity and some writing as well. So you can do some thinking today to think about what 3 assignments you will do, and we will start those on Tuesday. Have a good night. Talk to you later.